1976 at sa Japan noong 1977. Sa kontinente naman ng Africa, naitatag ng mga unang lokal sa Nigeria at South Africa noong 1978. Sa pagtatapos naman ng dekada 80, ay naitatag naman ng iba't ibang local congregations at group worship services sa Scandinavian countries at mga karating bansa sa Europa. Ang unang local congregation naman sa Latin America ay naitatag sa Guantanamo Bay, Cuba noong 1990. Naitatag din ang iba't ibang local congregations sa mga kilalang lungsod sa mundo na may malaking kinalaman sa kasaysayan ng Kristyanismo. Naitatag sa Roma, Italia noong July 27, 1994, sa Jerusalem, Israel noong March 31, 1996 at sa Athens, Greece noong May 10, 1997. At sa pagsisimula ng bagong milenyum, ang Iglesia ay nakarating sa South America sa pagkakatatag ng mga group worship services sa Brazil at Peru. Bago pa pagpahingahin ng kapatid ni Ranyo Manalo noong August 31, 2009, patuloy ang paglaganap ng Iglesia ni Cristo sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. At ngayon, sa ilalim ng pamahala ng kasalukuyang tagapamahalang pangkalahatan, ang kapatid na Eduardo V. Manalo, lalo pang pinaigting ang paglago ng Iglesia, lalo pang dumami ang mga kaanib at lumaganap pa sa maraming mga bansa kagaya ng mga bansa sa Africa at maging sa India. Ang Iglesia ni Cristo ay meron ng mga kaanib na mula sa iba't ibang lahi na aabot na sa mahigit 130 na nasyonalidad. Mayroon itong mahigit 7,000 lokal at mga misyon na bumubuo sa 142 distrito eklesyastiko sa mahigit 143 bansa at teritoryo sa lahat ng mga pinananahanang kontinente ng mundo. Libo-libong ministro at church officers ang nadaragdag sa Iglesia sa buong mundo. Nagpapatuloy at lalo pang pinaigting ang pagpapatayo at pagsasaayos ng mga gusaling sambahan, iba't ibang pasilidad at infrastruktura, hindi lamang sa Pilipinas, kundi maging sa ibang mga bansa. Ang mga gusaling sambahan sa Washington, D.C., Barcelona, Spain, at Amsterdam sa Netherlands ay ilan lamang sa mga gusaling na ipatayo ng Iglesia sa labas ng Pilipinas sa mga nagdaang panahon. Noong July 21, 2014, pinasinayaan ng Iglesia ni Cristo ang Philippine Arena, ang kasalukuyang world's largest mixed-use indoor theater. Ang megastructure na ito na matatagpuan sa siyudad de Victoria, Bukawi, Bulacan, ang naging venue sa ginawang pagdiriwang ng Iglesia ni Cristo sa kanyang sentenaryo noong July 27, 2014 na dinaluhan ng milyon-milyong kaanib mula sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Akin ng pagmamalasakit, hindi lamang para sa kapakanan ng mga kaanib, kundi maging para sa lipunan sa kabuuan. Ang Iglesia ni Cristo ay naglunsad ng mga programa na nagtataguyod ng mga kaugaliang Kristiyano sa iba't ibang larangan ng gawain nito. Sa pamagitan ng kabisanang pansambahayan nito, ang Iglesia ni Cristo ay nagsasagawa ng mga seminar, get-together, at iba pang aktibidad na itinataguyod ang aral ng Biblia ukol sa bastong pag-aasawa, pagiging mabuting magulang, at pagkakaroon ng maayos na ugnayang pansambahayan. Upang maisulong ang mabuting kalusugan at malinis na pamumuhay, ang Iglesia ni Cristo ay nagsasagawa ng mga libreng medical dental mission, blood donation drive, healthcare seminar, at iba pang proyektong kauri nito. Ang New Era General Hospital ay hindi lamang tumutugon sa pangangailangang pangkalusugan ng mga ministro at kaanib nito, kundi tumutulong din sa pagpapakilos ng mga volunteers para sa medical missions ng Iglesia. Ang pagpapahalaga ng Iglesia ni Cristo sa edukasyon ng dahilan kung bakit itinatag ang New Era University. At sa pamagitan naman ng Iglesia ni Cristo School for Ministers, ang pamahalaan ng Iglesia ay nagsasanay ng mga lalaking makakatulong sa pangangalaga sa Iglesia at pagpapalaganap ng mga salita ng Diyos para sa kaligtasan ng tao. Bilang pagkilala sa kahalagahan ng pampalakasan o sports, hindi lamang sa pagpapaunlad ng sarili, kundi maging sa pagkakaroon ng team spirit at pagkakaisa, ang Iglesia ay patuloy na nagsasagawa ng mga aktibidad pampalakasan sa ilalim ng Unity Games. Ang programang Lingap sa Mamamayan ng Iglesia ni Cristo ay nakatulong na sa lubhang maraming bilang ng mga tao na nangangailangan. Mula sa mga biktima ng kalamidad hanggang sa mga mahihirap at mga katutubo. Pinasimulan ito ng kapatid ni Eranio Manalo at lalo itong pinaigting ngayon ng kapatid ni Eduardo V. Manalo sa pamagitan ng International Aid to Humanity. Sa pamagitan ng Felix Y. Manalo Foundation, ang Iglesia ay nagbibigay ng tulong sa mga nangangailangan sa lahat ng panig ng mundo. Ang Iglesia ni Cristo ay nagtayo ng mga resettlement communities na mayroong mga pabahay, livelihood site, at bahay-sambahan. Na itatagkamakailan ang nasa Sitio Langit alang-alang Leyte para sa mga nawalan ng tahanan dahil sa pamiminsala ng bagyong Yolanda at para sa mga katutubong kabihog sa Paracale, Camarines Norte at sa mga blaan sa Barangay Danlag, Tampakan, South Cotabato. Mayroon ding naitatag na Eco Farm sa Lady Brand, South Africa bilang bahagi ng programa ng Iglesia ni Cristo na labanan ang kahirapan. Dahil sa pagtatagumpay na ito ng Iglesia ni Cristo, ipinahayag ng isang manunulat na si Robert Reed sa kanyang aklat na Pattern of Migration in South Asia na the Iglesia ni Cristo has been transformed into the most dynamic and powerful indigenous belief system in the Philippines, growing at a phenomenal rate. This upstart community of faith may have recently surpassed Islam as the nation's second largest religion. Indeed, the INC may be the most successful form of indigenous Christianity emanating from the third world in this century. Sa mga kaanib sa Iglesia ni Cristo, kinikilala at kanilang lubos na sinasampalatayanan na ang lahat ng pagtatagumpay na ito ng Iglesia ay gawa ng makapangyarihang kamay ng Diyos. Para sa Iglesia ni Cristo Anniversary Special Report, ako si Leander Denver Garcia. I am one with 25.
Russia Bureau, we would like to greet all the brethren around the world a happy 104th anniversary and 50 years in the West!
Binabati ko po ang Iglesia ni Cristo sa kanilang matagumpay na paglilingkod sa kapwa at sa Panginoon sa kanilang ika-104 na anibersaryo.
Happy
happy 104th anniversary at happy 50th anniversary in the West. Purihin ang ating Panginoong Diyos!
Very special day at ako po ay nakikiisa po sa celebration ng ika-104 na taong anibersaryo ng INC. Kay Ka Eduardo po at sa lahat po ng kapatid, ako po ay nagbibigay pugay. You are a very strong foundation in our society. Lagi ho kaming natutuwa, kaming pamilya Cayetano, sa kontribusyon ninyo sa ating buong bansa, sa mga kabataan na pinagsisipag nyo, mga disiplinado. Keep it all up po, and God bless you, and again, happy anniversary.
From the eastern region of Uganda, we greet all the brethren of the Church of Christ throughout the world, and most especially to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and to his whole family. Happy anniversary!
Mula po dito sa distrito ng Mindoro Occidental ay pumapati po kami sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa Iglesia, lalong-lalo na sa ating tagapamahalang pangkalahatan, ang kapatid Eduardo V. Manalo. Happy 104th anniversary!
From Seattle, Washington, Eagle Broadcasting Corporation, we would like to greet the entire Church of Christ.
Happy 50 years in the West! We are one with 25!
Happy sa ating po mga kapatid sa Iglesia ni Cristo at sa mahal natin kay Eduardo sa 50th anniversary ng INC dito po sa West. Nakilala po namin ang mga kapatid dito worldwide ang inyong kontribusyon sa mga komunidad, sa disiplina ng Pilipino at sa pagmamahal sa bayan ay kahangahan. Congratulations, God bless you.
Kami po ng mga kapatid ay bumabati ng 104th anniversary at happy 50th in the West. Happy anniversary po!
Happy 104th anniversary to all the brethren in the world, and happy 50th anniversary Church of Christ in the West. To God be the glory!
Happy 50th anniversary in the West!
From the EBC Bureau here in Gstaad, Switzerland, we want to greet the members of the Church of Christ around the world a happy 50th anniversary in the West!
ng sentral ay nakikigalak at buong pusong bumabati sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa malayong kanluran ng Happy 50th Anniversary! Purihin ang Diyos!
From the local congregation of Bansar Ecclesiastical District of Southeast Asia 2, we would like to greet the brethren around the world.
Happy 104th Anniversary and Happy 50th Anniversary in the West!
Bumabati po ako sa aking mga kaibigan at mga kapatid na mga miyembro ng Iglesia ni Cristo. Lalong-lalo na po mula sa kanilang pamunuan, si Brother Eduardo Manalo. Noong pang hindi pa ako tumatakbo na kahit anong posisyon, nakilala ko na yung si KRD noong araw. At mula noon, I've always been a very good friend of Iglesia. Laban niyo kung bakit? Dahil sa ang daming tulong na nagagawa ng Iglesia sa ating mga kababayan, sa ating bansa, at even in other countries. Nakikilala tayo dahil sa mga good works na nagawa ng Iglesia. Kaya ngayong inyong anibersaryong ito, si Congressman Sandy Belmonte po, na halos miyembro na ninyo, ay bumabati po sa inyo at sinasabi ko po sa sarili ko, sana tuloy ang pag-unlad, tuloy ang pagtulong sa mga tao, at tuloy din naman ang ating pagmamahal sa Diyos. Kaya mabuhay po ang Iglesia ni Cristo.
Mula po dito sa Distrito Ecclesiastico ng Quezon East, binabati po namin ang lahat ng mga kapatid sa buong mundo. Happy Anniversary!
We would like to greet the whole world 104th anniversary of the Church of Christ and happy 50th anniversary of the Church in the West.
From the group worship service in Portage the Prairie, the city of possibilities, we would like to greet all of our brethren around the world. Happy Anniversary!
Magandang araw sa inyo lahat. Una, congratulate ko kayo sa inyong 104th anniversary sa Iglesia ni Cristo, sa kay Eduardo Manalo. Congratulations po sa inyo at sa mga kapatid natin sa Iglesia. Dito sa Humok City, napakaganda po ng relationship namin dito sa local government unit of Humok at ang pamamahala dito sa Iglesia. Marami kayong proyekto na tutulungan dito, ganun din ang aming pamahalaan, marami kami natutulungan sa mga kapatid natin sa Iglesia. So sana magpatuloy ito magandang ugnayan natin. Sana magpatuloy ito magandang relasyon natin. Again, congratulations po sa inyo lahat. More power!
Happy 104th anniversary to all the brethren in the world, and happy 50th anniversary, Church of Christ in the West.
Sa lahat po ng mga kapatid sa Iglesia ni Cristo sa buong mundo,
Happy 104th anniversary!
Bumabati po kami sa mga kapatid ng happy 104th anniversary at happy 50th anniversary in the West.
To our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and all our brethren around the world, happy 104th anniversary and happy 50 years in the West.
Nais ko pong batiin ang pamunuan at lahat ng mga miyembro ng Iglesia ni Cristo para sa inyong ika-104 na taon dito po sa Pilipinas. Diyan po naman sa Amerika, ika-50 taon. You are celebrating 50 years and I truly hope, wish and pray na mas lalo pang dumami ang Iglesia ni Cristo na simbahan sa buong mundo. Congratulations po.
Maligayang ika-104 na taong anibersaryo sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa buong mundo at maligayang ika-50 taong anibersaryo ng Iglesia ni Cristo sa Kalunaran. Happy anniversary po!
我们祝全世界的 Iglesia ni Cristo 第104周年快乐，以及西方的教会第50周年纪念。Happy anniversary！
To all the members of the Church of Christ all over the world,
Happy 104th anniversary!
Hello, my name is Genoveva Calloway. I'm the mayor for the city of San Pablo. It is with great honor and pleasure for me to greet all of the members of the Iglesia ni Cristo from all over the world on your 104th year anniversary. And happy anniversary to in the West, especially to all those members registered in San Pablo, District of Northwest, California. Congratulations and greetings to your Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo Manalo. Mabuhay!
We would like to greet the brethren all over the world.
Happy 104th anniversary and happy 50 years in the West.
Mula po sa distrito ng Quezon City, sa pangunguna po ng mga ministro at manggagawa, kasama ng aming sambahayan, ay bumabati sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa buong mundo.
Happy 104th anniversary and happy 50th anniversary in the West. Purihin ang Panginoon.
I'm Mayor Pauline Cutter from the city of San Leandro in Northern California. Thank you for the opportunity to congratulate everyone, especially our San Leandro residents. They're part of Iglesia ni Cristo. Congratulations on your 50th anniversary in the West and your 104th world anniversary. What a remarkable milestone. On behalf of our city of San Leandro, I wish you the best in your celebrations, and I thank you for letting us be part of this.
ng Ilocos Norte, 1, ay bumabati sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa buong mundo ng Happy 104th Anniversary at Happy 50th Anniversary in the West!
We would like to greet our brethren all over the world. Happy 104th Anniversary!
Mabati ko kami sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa buong mundo, lalo na sa aming tagapamahalang paglalahatan at kapatid si Eduardo Manalo ng Happy 104th Anniversary and 50th Anniversary in the West. Purihin ang Panginoong Diyos!
My warm congratulations to Iglesia ni Cristo for its 104th birthday, 104 years young. And I think that there are so many years to come in the service of this community. In my 4 years in Manila, I was truly impressed by its level of dedication to the community and its action in the community. To see the millions of people in the streets on behalf of Iglesia ni Cristo, supporting anti-poverty struggles, supporting the development, ideas. It's really an impressive thing. We in Israel, we are good friends of Iglesia ni Cristo. We were very humbled and pleased to see Brother Manalo coming to visit us, and we look forward to a very warm cooperation in a number of levels, as friends and of course as partners in development and partners for the future of Philippines and Israel. Thank you very much.
We want to wish everyone 104th anniversary and 50th anniversary in the West. Praise be to God! Happy 104th anniversary!
We would like to greet
Happy 104th anniversary of the West!
My name is Pat Gakoskas. I would like to greet all the members of the Iglesia ni Cristo on its 104th anniversary. Special greetings also to the members in the West on its 50th anniversary, especially those who are registered in Union City. Congratulations and special greetings to Executive Minister Eduardo V. Manalo. Mabuhay ang Iglesia ni Cristo.
We greet our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and all the members of the Church of Christ around the world.
Happy 104th anniversary! Happy 104th anniversary po!
Isang taus-pusong pagbati sa Iglesia ni Cristo sa inyong ika-104 na anibersaryo at ika-50 na taon sa kanluran. Ang inyong patuloy ng pagbibigay gabay at pagpapalago sa komunidad ng milyong-milyong mga nananampalataya sa Pilipinas at sa ibang bansa ay tunay na kahanga-hanga. Pinagdarasal ko po na patuloy na pagpalain ng ating Panginoon ang inyong mabubuting gawain.
Kapatid Eduardo B. Manalo, mula po sa aming mga puso ay bumabati kami sa lahat ng mga kaalib sa Iglesia ni Cristo sa buong mundo ng Happy 104th Anniversary! Mahal na mahal po natin kayo! Happy 104th Anniversary! Happy 104th Anniversary po! Ang aking pinili anniversary in the West! Muli ang tulungan!
Hello, I'm Nahid Nenshi, Mayor of Calgary, and I'm so sorry that I can't be with you in person on this historic day as we celebrate the 104th anniversary of the re-emergence of the Church of Christ in the Philippines and the 50th anniversary of the Church's establishment here in the West. Thank you for everything you've done to bring faith into the hearts of the people, but also to build the community. You know, I often say that we as people of faith have so much more that unites us than that which divides us. The necessity of service, the need to leave it better than you found it, the absolute requirement to uphold the dignity of every human being. That's what we do together as people of faith. That is what we are called to do together when we make change in our community. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for continuing to do that in a fellowship of great faith. Congratulations on the anniversary. I cannot wait to see what the next 50 years brings.
We would like to greet our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and all the brethren all over the world.
Happy 50th Anniversary in the West!
Sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa buong mundo, Happy 104th Anniversary at Happy 50th Anniversary, Church of Christ in the West. Amen! Iglesia ni Cristo!
From St. Petersburg, Russia, to all brethren all over the world.
Happy 104th Anniversary and 50 years in the West!
We wish all the brethren a happy 104th anniversary and a happy 50th anniversary in the West.
To God be the glory!
Kami po ay mabati sa mga kapatid ng happy 104th anniversary at happy 50th in the West.
Purihin ang ating Panginoong Diyos! We wish the brethren a happy 104th anniversary and a happy 50th anniversary in the West. To God be the glory!
Happy welcome to our viewers around the world. Welcome to this EBC live broadcast. We're happy to be joining the studio teams from Honolulu and Manila, as well as our correspondents that will be reporting from throughout the world. I am Sarah Nagden.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. We are proud to be airing live from the capital of the United States, Washington, D.C. I'm Mace Ramirez. Joining us also in this special coverage are some of our EBC bureaus here in the U.S. In Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, we have Colleen Knight at the Thrasher Horn Center. In New York, we have Abby and Abigail at Mid-Hudson Civic Center. In Texas, we have Jane Gregorio. In Las Vegas, we have Lani Valdecantos and Anna Cui at the Smith Center.
Joining us also are some of our bureaus in Canada. In Canada, we have Ari Aquino in New Westminster, British Columbia, Monica De Jesus in Brampton, Ontario, and Sabir Moftif in Brampton, Ontario. And you can hear the excitement in the back.
I know. It's like a big party going on in there.
It is. But before we continue our live coverage here in ABC, Washington, D.C., we would like to greet all members of the Iglesia ni Cristo from around the world. Happy 104th anniversary.
And a happy 50th anniversary here in the West.
That's right.
The energy and excitement that we are witnessing today is very contagious. I can feel the positive energy.
I can, and they're having a countdown back there.
Right.
But that's because they have great reasons to celebrate. We can't help but cheer Iglesia ni Cristo because they are a positive member of the society. They had done many countless community action events.
Exactly. And we cannot enumerate them all, but we have covered many of them. For example, here in the Mid-Atlantic region, they reached victims of domestic violence, human trafficking, homelessness, and sexual violence through a partnership with the Samaritan House in Virginia Beach and EBC, or Eagle Broadcasting Corporation.
That's right. I remember that event. That was a great event.
Yes, and we were there.
That's right. We covered it. So many public servants in the city, state, as well as federal level was there to join and also give a tap in the back, if you will, to Iglesia ni Cristo for doing that great service. Yeah, so we're proud to be partnered with them. So today, Ace, it's wonderful to be here. Like I said, you can feel the energy, you can feel the celebration behind us, and we are in the lobby of DAR, or the Daughters of the American Revolution Constitution Hall.
Yes, it's a beautiful place and sits in the vicinity of the White House, the Washington Memorial, and other government buildings, as well as memorials and museums.
That's right. And this building is pretty historic, Ace, in itself. According to the DAR website, the DAR Constitution Hall is Washington, D.C.'s largest concert hall. The hall opened in 1929 and was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1985.
It's not just an ordinary auditorium.
That's right.
I also read that every president since Calvin Coolidge, who was president of the U.S. from 1923 to 1929, has attended events held here in the DAR.
That's right. And right now, we are going to our correspondence in Florida. And in Florida, we have Colleen Knight. Colleen, tell us what's happening in your area.
Hi, Ace. So I'm in Jacksonville, Florida at the Thrasher Horn Center. Sarah, Ace. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, now we can hear you.
Go ahead, Colleen.
Go ahead.
Can you give us some updates where you, in Jacksonville, Florida?
I think she's having technical difficulties, but we're going to go ahead and stick here for a little bit until we get her back. But I can feel the excitement behind her. They are starting to actually, I think they're starting to come out of the celebration, and we are going to grab some of them in a few minutes and ask them how they feel about this whole celebration today. And I can feel the energy. Can you feel it?
Right, and people are coming out. I think.
Yeah.
Let me grab the mic.
Okay, so while we grab somebody, and today is, like you said, is a great event here in Washington, D.C. We are covering the Iglesia ni Cristo, or the Church of Christ, 104th year anniversary and the 50th anniversary here in the West. And we have correspondents from around the United States that will be checking in with us as well as Canada.
That's right.
And later on, actually, we will speak with our studio in Honolulu and in the Philippines.
We have Florida, we have people from New York, Texas, Las Vegas, Vancouver, and also, of course, Blaisdell in Hawaii.
That's right. This is pretty significant because it's not just one location. It's multiple locations.
It's a global celebration. 104 years.
That's right. And here, 150th anniversary here in the West. So today, I can see some, but you know what? You stay here, I'm going to grab somebody. Oh, actually, we got New York. New York is on the line, and we are going to see what's happening there.
Abby and Abigail, can you give us some updates over there? What's happening?
Abby?
From New York.
We can hear you.
Greetings from New York. I'm Abby Mayo, and I'm members of the INC from the Northeast are here in celebration of the 104th anniversary, and one of the highlights of this year is 50 years in the West. Well, the Iglesia ni Cristo started in the West Coast in Hawaii and California. Right here on the East Coast, it started here in New York. Back to you, Lisa.
All right, so as you can see, thank you so much, Abby and Abigail. What a perfect pair in New York City. So you can see right here the celebration is continuing, and you see members of the Iglesia. They are here still celebrating, and I can feel their excitement. They don't come from here, they come from many different states. And I think in a few minutes we're gonna have someone. Let's go find a unsuspecting.
Sure.
Hi, brother. Can I talk to you?
Hi, how are you? I'm doing fine.
Hi, what's your name?
Brother Jerry Alanya.
Jerry, where are you from?
The locale of Nova,
What is Nova?
Northern Virginia.
Okay, so how far is that from here?
I would say probably about 10 miles.
How do you feel as a member of the Church of Christ during this 104th celebration?
It's a very exciting time. Like we always hear, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So I'm very excited to be here and be part of this momentous occasion.
How about the 50th anniversary in the West? Is there something that you were looking forward to because of the anniversary in the West? Did you have a celebration that was going on inside?
Yes, it was very good.
We felt the energy from the inside here. It seems like everybody's having a great time.
Oh yes, we're all having a blast. We're all sticking around. So, just like I said earlier, it's awesome to be part of this occasion right now. To be part of this and just to be alive during this time. I mean, there's tough for me to express in words how we all feel right now. So.
Thank you so much for your bigger description of what's happening inside. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
And so now we are going to jump back to Texas. Yes. It's big in Texas.
Yes, exactly. We have Jane Gregorio from Texas. Jane, are we ready?
Well, howdy from Texas. We're here at the Will Rogers Auditorium in Fort Worth, Texas. Images of cowboys and horses, so Texas is the perfect place for that. And I actually have here with me Alan Kitoriano, who's one of the attendees. And tell us, Alan, what was your thoughts about today's event?
It was a very significant event. First of all, I'd like to greet everyone, brothers and sisters, 104th anniversary, Church of Christ, and the 50th anniversary in the West. And this is a very significant event because this is not only the celebration of the Church of Christ, but my brother was also ordained in Hawaii. His name is Brother Alvin Kitoriano, so a shout out to my brother. Congratulations, Brother Alvin Kitoriano.
Thank you for that, and congratulations to you, Alan. And that's the latest here in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Kathleen Gregorio, and I'm 1 with 25. Back to you in the studios, Ace and Sarah.
Thank you so much. Great job. So now we have Pauline Knight back online from Florida in Jacksonville. That's right. Pauline, give us an update on what's going on in the celebration there.
Major storm going on. There's lots of lightning and rain, but that hasn't stopped members of the Church of Christ from gathering. They're actually in the middle of their musical portion right now, so it seems that the majority of the people are actually in the auditorium of Thresher Park here in Jacksonville, Florida. But I can also hear a little bit of a buzz going on down there, so I feel like everybody just has a lot of energy and they've really enjoyed the day. We actually have some great interviews for you a little bit later, so stay tuned and back to you in a second.
Thank you, Colleen. Great job. And now we go straight to
Las Vegas. We'll check with Anna Cree, and we have Lonnie Bagosantos. Lonnie and Anna, give those.
Summit Center in Las Vegas, where the Church of Christ is celebrating their 50th in the West anniversary.
And this particular venue is actually a world-renowned venue where world-famous artists have performed in this very stage.
Yeah, and we're not surprised because it is a standalone theater, so we're not surprised that the Iglesia ni Cristo decided to choose this venue for that reason.
Exactly, because it's not related to any casino or gaming or the gaming industry.
Yeah. And the show actually just barely started, so we'll bring you more updates later on. Back to you in the studio.
in Vancouver. You take it? Arnie Aquino? Thank you so much. Great job. I love the background. It's beautiful. So now we go up north. So we go to Canada. We have Arnie Aquino in Vancouver, Canada. Arnie?
Hi, Sarah and me. How are you doing there?
Can you hear us, Arnie?
Yes, can you talk? So we're actually today at theater, and this day turned in 19 as the largest theater in British Columbia. So everyone's inside now watching the musical, but we'll try to get an interview later. One of the organizers to us, they'll explain what it's about and how the musical has turned out.
Great job to our friendly neighbor up north, Canada.
Thank you, Arnie. And of course, this celebration, the church's celebration of 104th anniversary and the 50th in the West will not be complete if we don't hear from
Lynn Pence. Hi, Lynn.
From Hawaii.
That's right. We miss you in Washington, D.C. And we're so jealous that you're getting a tan, and I think we're getting a tan here too. But who would not want to be in Hawaii? Hi, Lynn.
Hey, Lynn. I don't think Hawaii is ready yet, but we are indeed jealous.
Yes.
Yes, it's an amazing time here in Hawaii. Thank you for joining us and allowing us in the West. Here I have with me Ron Hamilton.
Aloha, everybody. So, Lynn, we're here in the 50th state, right? On this momentous occasion of the INC celebration of 50 years in the West.
Right, perfect. You have a little tidbit for us about where we're at?
Well, did you know that this deal in the INC first came to the state?
So much fun, and make sure next time you request that we cover events in Hawaii. So now we go up north again to our correspondent in Toronto. Give us an update on what's going on up there.
Back to Toronto.
All right, so we are back here in DAR, Constitution Hall in Washington, D.C. You can hear the celebration in the background. It's not indoor fireworks, so don't be alarmed. It's just balloons are popping and children are having fun. They're popping the balloons.
Yeah, I think it's balloon popping time right now.
It is. Who doesn't want to do that, right? So but right now, we're actually going across the world. We're going to EBC Lane in Manila. And we have Randy Bernardino and
Kyle Lafuente.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, Sarah and Ace. It looks so exciting there in Washington, D.C.
So we're halfway across the world. I imagine it's sometime in the evening there in Washington, D.C. And I checked Google earlier. It's about 3 p.m. yesterday?
Yes.
in Hawaii. So we are covering the 104th anniversary of the Iglesia ni Cristo today and the 50th year of its foreign mission.
Yes. As part of the celebration of the Iglesia ni Cristo, all of these sites around the world, especially in the United States, have begun their musical programs. So we'll stay up to date with this special coverage of all of the things happening in those different sites. Maybe we'll get a chance to take a peek of all of those things happening there. So what do we expect to see, Kyle, on today's coverage?
A lot. Again, we are transmitting all over the world, so we have a little bit of a few technical difficulties, but we'll get over them. But whether you're sitting at home and you're having breakfast or lunch here in the Philippines, or getting ready for dinner in the United States, or a little bit of a late lunch in Hawaii, please join us online. All right, follow the hashtag, join us and contribute to the hashtag, actually. Hashtag INC50West, and of course, hashtag INC104. We will be following that a little bit later during our coverage for today.
Yes, and on all of your social media posts, make sure to use a caption. Let us know what you're doing, what you're excited to see, so that we know what's going on all of those sites.
A little bit later on the show today as well, we'll be learning about the relationship between the Philippines and, of course, the Iglesia ni Cristo over 104 years. We have a special guest. Watch out for that a little bit later on the coverage.
Okay, so let's go back now to Sarah and Ace. Let us know what's going on there in Washington, D.C.
Thank you so much, Randy and Kyle. I feel like I want to go back there and pop some balloons. You hear that? That's actually balloon popping celebration. So inside, they had balloons fall down, and a lot of the kids I'm hearing, I want to get some balloons, and I think the kids got their wishes.
Yeah.
They're popping some balloons.
Well, speaking of balloons, I would like to give credits to the designer of the stage. It was very nice, actually.
They did an amazing job.
They did.
And from what I heard speaking with people, they've been preparing for this musical play for a while.
Exactly.
And you know, the dedication of the Iglesia ni Cristo, they actually drive every weekend to rehearse.
Yes, because participants came from the different areas here in the United States, in the East Coast. So some participants came from Virginia Beach, even from far south. There you go, North Carolina.
The Iglesia ni Cristo knows how to appreciate art, knows how to have fun, and they know how to protect the environment, because we covered them doing protecting the environment from time to time. They also do the Worldwide Walk. We cover that here in Washington, D.C., the Worldwide Walk.
That's right.
So they really know how to put in good community events, good entertainment. So maybe one day they'll let us join them.
That's right. It's just fitting because it's the 104th anniversary of the church.
It's very rare for an organization to last out 104, and the Church of Christ is still going strong. And like I said earlier, we cheer for organizations like the Church of Christ because of the impact they've done in the environment, in the community.
The contribution it has done to the society, not only in the Philippines, not only here in the U.S., but worldwide.
That's right.
It's a global organization.
That's correct. And so we are going to continue our live coverage here in Washington, D.C. And if you would like to know more information, and if you want to know up-to-the-minute information, we also have our live online social media, correct? So we have the eaglenews.ph
and eaglenewslive.com.
That's correct. And we also have Twitter. Follow us on Twitter.
And Facebook.
Facebook, that's right. So there's We're everywhere, so if you want to join the fun, you want to see behind the scene, please join on social media.
Give it a thumbs up or just comment on anything.
Just thumbs up. And so right now we are going to take a short break, and we will see you here in a few minutes.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Kami po ay bumabati sa mga kapatid ng happy 104th anniversary and happy 50th anniversary in the West. Purihin ang ating Panginoon Diyos.
Happy 50th anniversary, Church of Christ in the West. To God be the glory.
Sa lahat po ng mga kapatid sa Iglesia sa buong mundo, bumabati po kami, lalo-lalo na sa ating tagapamahalang pagkalakaban, ang kapatid na Eduardo D. Manalo na Happy 104th Anniversary!
Ako bilang Vice Gobernador dito sa probinsya ng Capiz, si Vice Governor Evan Contreras, gusto ko pong ipabot sa kabuuan ng Iglesia ang aking pagbati sa inyong pagselebrar ng 104th anniversary. Hopefully, mas matatag at mas lumaki pa ang Iglesia. Nakita po naman namin kung ano yung kontribusyon ng church ninyo. Nakita ko kung gaano ka solid yung cooperation, yung unity. Akin pong pagsaludo sa liderato ng Iglesia. Happy anniversary! 104th anniversary po.
Kami po ay bumabati sa lahat ng mga kapatid ng Happy 104th Anniversary at Happy 50th in the West. Purihin ang ating Panginoong Diyos. Happy 104th Anniversary sa ating lahat! Happy 104th Anniversary to all the brethren in the world. Happy 50th Anniversary in the West. God be the glory.
Kapatid Eduardo D. Manalo, mula po sa aming mga puso ay bumabati kami sa lahat ng mga kaalib sa Iglesia ni Cristo sa buong mundo ng Happy 104th Anniversary! Mahal na mahal natin kayo! Happy 104th Anniversary! Happy 104th Anniversary po! Ang happy 50th Anniversary in the West! Purihin ang Panginoong Diyos!
anniversary and 50th in the West.
Manggagawa dito sa ating distrito ay bumabati sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa buong mundo. Happy 104th anniversary at happy 50th in the West. Muli ang Panginoong Diyos. Happy 104th anniversary. I wish all the brethren a happy 104th anniversary and a happy 50th anniversary in the West.
Welcome back to the special coverage of the Iglesia ni Cristo 104th anniversary and 50 years in the West.
Yes, a big celebration today all over the world. But here back at home at EBC headquarters in Quezon City, we have a special guest with us. If there was the man to go to regarding the history of the church along with the Philippines, it would be Professor Xiao Chua.
Makasaysayang haba po sa inyo, and to all the brethren of the Iglesia ni Cristo, happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. First things first, I just want to ask personally, what would be the right term for the elaborate ornament you have on you?
Well, I just wear this because it's my favorite, because this came from our Cordilleran brothers in the Kalinga, and also this one is from Bontoc, also from the north. And these are the designs of the pre-colonial linglingo of our ancestors. Remember that as Filipinos, we are multicultural, multi-ethnic, and multilingual, and multi-religious. But our commonality as a people would be the culture before all the influences came, and that is the culture of our early Filipinos, the Austronesians.
Is that
these are
more
the
than
symbols.
100 years old?
Thousands.
Wow. So let's just go back.
1,000 or 2,000.
Maybe we go back 100 years, 104 years specifically.
Yes.
If you could describe, I guess, the environment in which the church was seated in 1914?
Well, I guess I have to say that the church came out at the right time, at the right situation, as it was willed by God. I mean, you know, if Ka Felix Manalo continued the Church of Christ in around 60 years before that, he might have been executed like Hermano Puli.
Oh, wow.
You know, remember that Hermano Puli founded a religious organization, a kapatiran, and the Spaniards were bothered by it. It was a Catholic kapatiran. It was not a new religion, but they were so bothered by it that only Indios can be the members of that, that they slaughtered the members of that kapatiran, and they executed Hermano Puli. They cut his body into pieces. So what happened was that the time of the formation of the church in the Philippines was a time of change and a time of historical change. It was a product of historical change and the right circumstances. So for example, Ka Felix was born in 1886. That was 10 years before the Philippine Revolution. He had an uncle who was a priest, and before that, during that time, the priest won't allow the Bible to be read by everybody. So what happened was, he still was able to sneak out and read the Bible for himself and look at the differences of teachings of the Catholic Church at that time and the Bible. And so he began questioning and forming in his mind what's the true church for him. So what happened was, the Americans came. And when the Americans came, what happened was, there was such opening of, shall we say, religious freedom, because the Americans were tolerant of other religions. So what happened was, this was the time when Ka Felix began his journey to search the Bible, and the Bibles were distributed already during that time all throughout the Philippines, and was translated also into Tagalog. So this began the, I think the right circumstances, the proper time made the church blossom. Of course, not without difficulties, because remember that at that time, a lot of people found some of the church's teachings as awkward. So that's why some of them, and no, of course, when there's a new religion or when there's a new faith that people think is, against their beliefs, there's a reaction to that, and of course a lot of people suffered. The Church of Christ suffered persecutions, but eventually it was able to have a role in our country's history.
Yes. So the origins of the Iglesia ni Cristo, we can see how it's played a huge role in the history of the Philippines, especially in nation building. So based on your research about the Iglesia ni Cristo, how can you see how the INC has contributed to that nation building?
I'm wearing this for a purpose, because I am actually, my message to a lot of people is that the Iglesia ni Cristo, yes, it is a biblical, Bible-based religion, but it also has, because the Catholics came from the Philippines, and it is inevitable that the context of this religion, even if it has spread worldwide, would be Filipino. So for example, the pre-colonial ancestors, they had the sandugo. The sandugo is the formation of the community by the datus, who will form alliances so that they would build a stronger community. The bayan is built by the sandugo, and sandugo, the ritual, means one blood, and one blood means kapatiran, brotherhood.
Yes.
So remember that the kapatiran is also the kapatiran that is the concept of Hermanopolis organization, same as the concept of Andres Bonifacio's Katipunan. We are all brothers in in this organization, the Katipunan. So when Catholics formed the church here in the Philippines, he was able to add that element of kapatiran. That's why you call yourselves kapatid.
Yes, brother,
and there's a strong band of brotherhood, sisterhood. This is very Filipino, not just within among yourselves, but also to your fellow men. For example, there's Lingap sa Mamamayan, there's the Felix Y. Manalo Foundation that was recently established, not just to help people around the country, but to help people around the world when there are catastrophes. So things like this make the church, in a way, contribute not just to the Philippines, but to humanity. That's one, the concept of kapatiran. The other one is the concept of leadership. I'm looking at the concept of leadership, the tagapamahalang pangkalahatan. In a way, he is a datu, not as an absolute leader, but someone who gives ginhawa, kapanatagan, karangalan to the bayan. During the time of our ancestors, it is still the spirit that animates the kapatiran, because I also understand this, that even during the time of our ancestors, it is not necessary that if you have the datu and you have the son of the datu, they will pass the throne to you. You have to prove yourself worthy. And in the leadership of the Iglesia ni Cristo, it passed on the descendants or the family of Ka Felix Manalo to his son Ka Erdi, and then to the grandson of Ka Felix, Ka Eduardo. But this is not automatic. You remember that both Ka Erdi and Ka Eduardo, they were elected by the ministers of the church, meaning there is a democracy in the sense that just like our ancestors, you have to choose their leaders when time comes for transition, but also they have to prove themselves. The family, those who are passing on, the leadership would pass on them. They have to prove themselves as worthy successors of leadership. So I think that this is very similar to how we, in the pre-colonial days, were able to have our leadership and how to have order and in many ways harmony in our bayan.
Yes.
So and then the third one that I'm always pointing out is the use of language. The use of language, because of course we are talking in English because we are international.
Yes.
But the main language, of course, of the Church of Christ, the Iglesia ni Cristo, is Filipino, Tagalog.
Yes.
And this is important because even if there are members of the church in other countries. The ministers, for example, I believe, they have to learn Tagalog. They have to learn Tagalog, the language of the last messenger.
Yes.
And if you're going to look at it, this, in a way, exported our language from, and our culture, not just language. Language bears culture. It exported our language and our culture, Filipino culture, from the Philippines worldwide. It now had, and Filipino had become, the Iglesia ni Cristo had become exporters, one of the main exporters of Filipino culture.
Wow.
So, if you're going to look at that, even if Ka Eduardo, for example, goes to another country to have their services, his services, he gets translated. He will talk in Tagalog, but he will be translated in other languages. So we are not afraid to say, this is a Filipino church, and we want to speak in the language of the last messenger. So and of course, when you have special words, for example, like diakono, handog, paghahandog, bautismo, and all of that, there is a special band that is created to those who use that language to have a more coherent and cohesive and unified band. So what I'm saying here is, if you're going to look at the Datu leadership, the concept of kapatiran, and the spread of language, the spread of language and culture, these are I think the three main points to look at the Iglesia ni Cristo and its role in nation building, and how we, for example, nation is when we have one heart,
yes,
and one mind. We have a national sentiment to be together. We identify ourselves with each other. So when we have that, you become a nation. Now, we as Filipinos, if you're going to look at how fragmented a lot of us are, despite the nation-building project started by Jose Rizal and Andres Bonifacio, there's still difficulties in nation-building. But the Iglesia ni Cristo was able to have their own identity, their Filipino culture, but also their own distinct version of it, and they are able to export it to the world. This is what we should be doing as Filipinos. So I'm saying that we should look at the example of the Iglesia ni Cristo in how we, as a nation, can also try to find our unity despite diversity, find our common symbols, find the things that unite us, and, you know, we work together as kapatiran ng mga mamamayang Pilipino, just as what you are doing today.
All right. Thank you, Professor. So far, we've covered language and culture. We'll cover a little bit more later. Again, we have a special guest, Professor Xiao Chua, with us. But first, we'll head off into a break.
Happy 50th anniversary in the West.
Eastern region of Uganda, we greet all the brethren of the Church of Christ throughout the world, and most especially to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and to his whole family. Happy anniversary!
Mula po dito sa distrito ng Mindoro Occidental, ay bumabati po kami sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa Iglesia, lalong-lalo na sa ating tagapamahalang pangkalahatan, ang kapatid Eduardo V. Manalo. Happy 104th anniversary!
ng ikasandaan ang apat na anibersaryo ng Iglesia ni Cristo sa Pilipinas at ika-50 taon sa kanlurang bahagi ng mundo. Maraming salamat po sa pagpapahuli ang Panginoon Cristo
Sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa buong mundo, lalong-lalo na po sa ating tagapamahalang pangkalahatan, ang kapatid na Eduardo V. Manalo na
Kami po ay pumapati sa mga kapatid ng Happy 104th Anniversary and Happy 50th Jubilee. Purihin ang ating Panginoon Diyos. Happy anniversary po!
We wish the brethren all over the world a happy 104th anniversary and 50th anniversary in the West.
God be the glory!
Welcome back to the EBC special coverage of the anniversary of the Iglesia ni Cristo. Now, Kyle, what's going on now in the different sites there in the United States?
Yeah, so we're celebrating 104, of course, for our anniversary, and 50 years of our foreign mission all over the world, starting in Washington, D.C. and Hawaii. So please do contribute and follow us on social media. We'll be checking out specific posts coming from our families and our friends and our audience, of course. Please remember to use the hashtag INC50West and hashtag INC104. That's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Please remember to use that stories function because it's really a lot more immersive when we can see your stories right there, whether you're in Hawaii or Toronto, Canada, or
all over the United
Nevada.
States.
I'm trying to think of where we have our specific hosts and anchors right now. But speaking of which, let's go ahead and go back to Dar in Washington, D.C. with Sarah and Ace. Hi, Sarah and Ace.
Hello. Has the program already started there in Washington, D.C.?
Thank you for joining our live coverage at the Dar Constitution Hall for the Iglesia ni Cristo's 104th anniversary.
From the capital of the United States, the members of the Iglesia ni Cristo, 104 years and 50 years in the West.
50 years in the West.
Don't forget, stay tuned. I'm Ace Ramirez.
I am Sarah Nachman, and we are 1 with 25. Back to you, Manila.
There you go. If you're wondering who that was Sarah Nachman and Ace Ramirez. They are located right now in Washington, D.C. We'll hear a little bit later from our other bureaus, probably specifically Florida. We have Colleen Knight there, and of course, our very first locale.
In Eva Beach.
Yes.
They're at the Blaisdell Arena in Honolulu, Hawaii. Now, I think we're going to hear from our correspondent there in Toronto with Monica De Jesus and Sabir Mufti. Hello, Monica and Sabir. How's it going there in Toronto? Have you already begun the program there?
Good evening. Yes, we're just witnessing the program right now, and we would just like to wish everyone from the EBC Canada Bureau
Happy 104th anniversary and 50 years anniversary here in the West for your church mission in the West.
And now we are live here at the CAA Center with Brother Falmar Serrano, who is a minister of the gospel here in Canada. So Brother Falmar, we can witness the celebration today, and it's truly grand. It's great energy here at CAA Center. And you being a pioneer of Canada, how would you explain the growth and the expansion of the church here within Canada?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say a pioneer. Sister Monica, I grew up in Canada, but I wouldn't say a pioneer. You know, I want to take that from the many brethren who truly are the pioneers and who were here actually since 1973. Here, particularly in Canada, because as the church celebrates its 50th year in the West, since it began its mission in the Western Hemisphere, starting in Honolulu, Hawaii in 1968. Included with that is actually the 45th year of the church in this year, 2018, because it was in 1973 when the Iglesia ni Cristo, the Church of Christ, began here in Canada. And actually, we have something special, and if it's all right, if I could read this for everyone, okay? It was published in one of the local newspapers here in Canada, okay? It's a very special message from the Prime Minister of Canada, okay? And I'm going to read it for everyone. It goes like this. So, July 27, 2018, dear friends, I am pleased to extend my warmest greetings to everyone celebrating the 35th anniversary of the Iglesia ni Cristo Church of Christ in Canada. For 45 years, the Iglesia ni Cristo Church of Christ has brought together Canadians who are committed to upholding Christian ideals of faith and service. This occasion, which also marks the church's 50th anniversary in the Western Hemisphere and 104 years since it was founded, offers everyone a chance to reaffirm their deeply held spiritual beliefs and to reflect upon the events that have shaped your church's history. On behalf of the Government of Canada, I offer my best wishes for a memorable celebration. Sincerely signed, the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. And that's it, right there. Okay? So the Prime Minister is correct. It's because, well, of course, the Iglesia ni Cristo, the Church of Christ, attributes all success to the handiwork of the true God. But we also recognize the teamwork of the brethren, also with the community around us. Of course, also working hand in hand with the government to help people in many areas of life, through our reach out programs, especially helping people to become model citizens in the country, in the area, and of course on the part of members of the Church of Christ to uphold their spiritual beliefs.
So it's no doubt that the success of the church has reached here in Canada and is truly expanding and growing greater and greater every day.
Right.
So now moving forward, what can we expect to see from the Church of Christ as it continues to expand here in Canada?
Well, being one that grew up here in Canada, because actually my dad is also a minister of the gospel in the Iglesia ni Cristo, the Church of Christ. He was assigned here many years back. So I mostly grew up here in the Toronto area, and back then there were only a handful of congregations, one here in Toronto, I think one in Montreal, and one in Ottawa. But from those humble beginnings, the Iglesia ni Cristo, the Church of Christ, has now expanded throughout Canada. We are composed of what are called ecclesiastical districts, so major regions of Canada. There are 3 now. We have on the western side and in the middle of Canada, and here on the East Coast. And it just has grown rapidly throughout the years, and it continues to expand. And of course, by the help and mercy of God, but also because of the great relation we have with the Government of Canada, with the people, with the community, with the local authorities. They are always there for us. In fact, one of the authorities was here earlier. I don't want to get his name wrong, so I'm not going to try to guess it. But he was here and he said something wonderful during the opening remarks. And so we thank Canada for that. We extend our thanks and gratitude also to Justin Trudeau for taking his time out of his busy schedule to write to us, and to the officials of Canada for their kindness. And we promise that we will continue to work hand in hand with them for the welfare of the people here in Canada, and of course for the glory of true God.
Brother Falmar, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, it's been a pleasure.
And as we're reporting live from here, the CAA Center in Brampton, Ontario, as we continue to enjoy the celebration of the 104th anniversary of the church and 50 years in the West. Back to you, Sarah and Ace.
All right, Sarah and Ace are a little preoccupied right now, but thank you, Monica and Sabir. Interesting letter from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
Yes, hopefully we'll get a chance to maybe link that letter to the Eagle News website so that you all have a chance to read about what the Prime Minister said. Now let's see what's going on in all of the other sites.
Yes, it's raining here in the Philippines, but in Florida, in the United States, I imagine it's pretty sunny. So let's go ahead and toss it over to Colleen Knight. Hi, Colleen.
Hello, Colleen. How's it going there in sunny Florida?
Hi, Colleen. It's actually not sunny, so we have the connection to basically right now. More than I was actually there last month, and I really it was very nice to visit. So I'm here in Jacksonville at the Pressure Board Center, and as you can hear, maybe not, there's a lot of movies going on at the top of the program. Actually, so Church of Christ right now is a big deal, but it seems like there's anything going on down there. Earlier, even they're going to interviews very interesting people, mostly people that are involved in creating the program, preparing for the program, the director, as well as the team. So I hope everyone will stay tuned to that. Back to you.
Thanks for that report, Colleen. Let's see what's going on in all the other parts of the United States. We also have a program there in New York with Abby Mayao and Abigail Dumlao. The Abbies, Abby and Abigail.
Hi.
Hello. How's it going there in New York?
Hi, this is Abby Mayao, and I'm here with Rose, a member of the Church of Christ in Baltimore, who's also a sign language interpreter. Mrs. Hillier, can you tell me about your experience today?
Very exciting po. We celebrated our 104th anniversary and 50 years in the West. Yay!
So, Mrs. Hillier, can you tell me, I know it's been a long story of yours to become certified as a sign language interpreter. I know in the 95th celebration, that was one of the moments where you started, and now that it's 104 years here in the celebration of the Church of Christ and 50 years here in the West, how does it feel to be part of this?
It's quite a journey, and it's truly an honor to be part of it, and until now, the fire of the Holy Spirit is still there. You want to keep that in there. I'm holding on tight to that. So, performing duty, interpreting, and helping the church administration so that the words of God will be spread out all over the world is amazing work that we should do today.
What can you tell us about some of the things that happened here this evening? I know the performance just ended, the grand finale just ended. How was that?
It's very inspiring to actually remember how we started with Brother Manap. We started preaching really a humble beginning. We cannot really explain how it's now. We can see it's really God's work happening right now. So no matter what the detractors do, they will not win because this is God's work. It's His work. And so after the time of Brother Felix and then the passing of Brother Rani Dimanal, and now the president of the church administration led by Brother Eduardo Dimanal, we'll support them because this is God's work. This is God's work.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Mr.
Thanks for that report, Abby.
microphone.
Sign language interpreters there at the event.
Fantastic.
So it's inclusive for people of all different abilities, and they can all be able to participate and enjoy these events.
That's correct. And now we'll go ahead and move on to Vancouver with Arnie Aquino. Hi, Arnie.
We're in the main studio, and to all of our viewers, we're actually here right now at Matthews Theatre in New Westminster, which is part of the Greater Vancouver area. So we have here a member of the Church of Christ, Clyde Capistrano, with us, and he's here to tell us his experience with the celebration of the 50 years in the West. So, Clyde, can you let us know what your experience was?
Oh, it's been great. Everyone has been cooperating, especially for me, because I am part of the bureau and I know what's going on in the background, and I can see that everyone's just thrilled and excited to be part of this, because we know that this is like a once in a lifetime, especially in the West, and it's our 50th anniversary, right? So I am very happy to be part of this. Yeah, I'm very excited and I'm very happy to be here.
So you said that you're part of the bureau. Can you let me know what this bureau is?
So it's the media bureau. So basically we take all anything that encompass pictures and videos, and special events, and we send them to the social medias, and just to help other people know that we're here and we're growing significantly.
So did you have any part in the musical, and have you seen any of the rehearsals that had happened? I know the musical is going on right now, so were you able to watch it?
I was able to watch them trying to practice for it, and like what I said earlier, they are really ready for it, and they've been practicing for like months, and it's such an amazing show, and I hope a lot of people can be able to watch it, and so that it can help propagate the church.
Great. Yeah. And so when it comes to the celebration, 50 years, what's the significance of that to you?
Well, for me, I'm just glad to be able to help. I know that other people have given much more effort than I have, and I think we should acknowledge them, especially the ones who are behind the scenes, who work on the talent, who practice every night. Sometimes they go home at like 12 a.m., and it's just amazing.
And how is it like being able to see how the church has grown?
It's very inspiring, and it makes me want to keep going and keep performing my duty, and it's just an amazing show. I'm just glad to be part of it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Clyde, for your time. Back to the main studio.
All right, thank you very much from Vancouver, Arnie Aquino. Back here to EBC headquarters in QC. To talk more about us and join us today in our discussion is Edwil.
Yes, hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Randy.
Now, when me and Randy were a lot younger, the 25th anniversary, the silver anniversary, I believe Randy and I were both in San Jose, California.
Yes.
So now we're here in 2018. What do we have going on right now in celebration with the church specifically as 104th and its 50th celebration as a foreign mission?
Well, a few hours ago, Brother Eduardo Manalo, our executive minister, led the dedication of a house of worship in Eva Beach, Hawaii. And that's just the first. We're expecting 21 more house of worship dedications until the end of this year outside the Philippines, specifically in the US and Canada.
Now, the very first one today, how significant is the place, Eva Beach, of this chapel that was dedicated earlier today?
It was in Eva Beach 50 years ago when Brother Eranio Manalo, he was our executive minister. That's where he officiated the very first worship service that started the mission of the Iglesia ni Cristo in the Far West.
Wow. So it's really come full circle from the beginning of the
Far East?
Yes, from the Far East coming to the Far West.
And that's why, let me just say this, that's why we always, once the series of celebrations began, the gatherings began, we kept on greeting our brethren there we say to them, greetings to those in the far west from us here in the far east.
Yes. Wow, very significant. Now, the other places, all of the other congregations that are going to have houses of worship, new chapels being renovated, this is going to be done throughout this year?
Well, yes, throughout this year. We're not saying that it's not going to continue after 2018, of course, because it is. It continues. If you provide an average for the number of houses of worship that we dedicate to God around the world. For example, this year, it would come to about one new house of worship every 2-point-something days,
wow.
I think.
So about every 3 days, there's a new church building being dedicated by the Iglesia ni Cristo.
Yes.
Wow.
Right, so after the celebration here in Hawaii, the next significant one, personally for me, would be San Francisco. How will we be doing it in San Francisco?
I think they have another program. I think all of the districts throughout the U.S.
So. Yes.
All of this is part of the celebration of the Iglesia ni Cristo. Yeah. Most recently reported here on EBC that there was an outreach program at Luneta. Can you tell us more about what happened there?
Well, that took place a few weeks ago, and we were able to gather around 1,000, it's mixed, doctors, dentists, paramedics, and they gave free services to our fellow men, our countrymen, members and non-members of the church alike. And I believe we were able to hand out no less than 180,000 relief packages.
Wow. Wow, really amazing to see that all of these people that can benefit from the services provided by the INC.
Yes.
Now that Lingap project, is that just that one time that it's going to occur, or can we see more of those events happening of the Iglesia ni Cristo?
Even before that Lingap sa Mamamayan that took place at the Quirino Grandstand, we were already doing this. In fact, a few weeks before that, we had held it in Malawi and in Kenya.
Wow.
And that took place a few weeks after that worldwide walk that we held in Manila. So as recently as a few days ago, we held the Lingap sa Mamamayan in Bataan province for those who are suffering from the effects of the flooding. And not just in Bataan, because yesterday, I was here in the studio yesterday, and the reports kept coming in, Lingap sa Mamamayan in Pampanga, Lingap sa Mamamayan in Bulacan, and I suppose those watching us right now, if they're not having Lingap sa Mamamayan today in their respective provinces, they can expect this in the next few days if they're also going through the flooding, for example.
Yes, yes.
All right. So from the far east to the
far west. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Thank you, Ka Edwil, for joining us here today and giving us an update on everything that's happening for our anniversary. Right now, we'll go ahead and pick it up and toss it off to Blastel.
Hello to all of you in Blaisdell. How is the program there in Honolulu?
Okay. So while we go ahead and try to recover from some of the technical difficulties, we do have, again, let's talk about the future. So we do have some things coming up.
Yes.
I know, for example, in my hometown province, we're doing a special event, I believe this weekend as well. My mom is going to be like, Anak, what happened to you? But in the province of Pampanga. So where else? What else do we have to look forward to?
Well, let's take Canada as an example. Yes. I believe that we are going to be holding Lingap sa Mamamayan over there. Also, a chapel dedication.
Wow. Yes. Speaking of Canada, I believe we're going to go ahead and toss it off to Toronto, Canada.
Let's see how the program is going there with Monica De Jesus and Sabir Mufti. Monica and Sabir, how's the program there in Toronto?
Toronto ready?
I'm here. Yeah. Hi, so I'm here. I can hear you. So yeah, we're here. The musical presentation has just completed, and it's been a wonderful presentation showcasing the history of the Church of Christ from the West. We've had performances, members of the Church of Christ doing the performances. It's been a wonderful celebration, and it's been really, really great to witness such an occasion. So I just wanted to say happy anniversary to the Church of Christ, and I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Toronto, Canada, from Sabir. And I believe, Edwell, you know Sabir as well?
Yes, we were together here for a few days during one of the anniversaries of the church. And I know his wife also. So my greetings to you, Brother Sabir.
Hello. So, Brother Edward, you mentioned of all of these outreach programs that the Iglesia ni Cristo is doing throughout the world. Now, what is the motivation for having these outreach programs?
It's a good thing that you asked that question, because there's a tendency for people to forget that the Iglesia ni Cristo is a Christian religion. And what do I mean when I say that? The Iglesia ni Cristo serves the Lord God based on God's words as taught by the Lord Jesus Christ and His apostles and as recorded in the Holy Scriptures. Now, when the Lord Jesus Christ was asked, He said that the two greatest commandments are, the greatest being, love the Lord God with all your heart, your mind, your soul, your strength. The second greatest is similar to that. Love your fellow man as you love yourself. So, as you are able, help those who are in need. When we conduct lingap sa mamamayan or aid to humanity activities, we are fulfilling that because it is in keeping with the commandment to love our fellow men, our neighbor, as we love ourselves. So, when a member of the Church of Christ participates in lingap sa mamamayan in obedience to what the Bible teaches, that person, that brother or that sister, draws closer to the Lord God, because he or she is found to be more obedient to our Father in heaven. And when you're obedient to the Lord God, of course, you enjoy His blessings, you enjoy His guidance in your life.
So the benefits are for the beneficiaries, but also for the members who are participating as well. Yes. Now, I think we're going to get some more reports of the other sites there in Vancouver. We have Arnie Aquino. Hello, Arnie. How's the program there in Vancouver?
Randy, so I'm here again, but I'm here with one of the ministerial workers, actually, of the Iglesia ni Cristo. So, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Brother R.V. Medichello. I'm a ministerial worker of the Church of Christ, assigned in the local congregation of Richmond here in the district of Canada 1.
So this is a significant event for the Iglesia ni Cristo. It's the 104th anniversary in the Philippines, and it's the 50th anniversary in the West. So how does this affect you?
First and foremost, I can truly say that we are proud to be members of the Church of Christ, because starting out earlier this afternoon in our time here in British Columbia, we were able to witness the preaching of the words of God through our executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, in a very special worship service that was held in Honolulu, Hawaii, in the Iwa Beach congregation. And there we witnessed his preaching of the words of God, house of worship, building dedication, and also we were able to witness the ordination of 50 new ministers inside the church. So it was truly a tremendous blessing for all the members of the church here in this part of the world, as well as the entire members of the Church of Christ. And we thank you, Lord God, for blessing the church for 104 years, and specifically for 50 years of His blessings, His abundant love and compassion here in the far west. We can truly see how God has manifested His power, with how much the church has grown, especially since 2009 up until this very moment. The church has grown tremendously, and we return all the praise and glory to God. And this evening, right after the worship service, we went here to Massey Theater to witness a very special musical play or presentation entitled One Flock, One Shepherd, God's Promises Fulfilled. It's actually ongoing right now. And
I'm sorry to have told you from that.
No, it's okay, it's okay. The brethren are enjoying the play. It's about one of the old ministers inside the church. It's actually based on a true story. And right now it's going on, and the brethren, you can see the look on their faces. They're actually cheering right now. There's laughs. There's a very emotional moment as well. This is inspiring everyone in their faith, truly. And we can't help but thank our executive minister, Brother Eduardo Manalo, for allowing activities to happen like this. And this is what we need, especially now. Like what he mentioned in the worship service earlier, that we should all the more be dedicated in our services to God. We should all the more be zealous in the way we fulfill our sacred obligations to the Father. And that is why we are having activities like this, to strengthen the faith of our brothers and sisters, to inspire them to all the more be active in their services to God.
That's great. So, as I understand, the musical or the stage play is actually just one script throughout the world. So, can you explain that a little bit more?
If you notice, like what you mentioned, the script is actually the same play is being shown all around the world for the members of the Church of Christ. And one of the reasons that it's like this is because of the Church's unity. The Church teaches that we are united as God's people, and it is pleasing and good before the Lord that we are united in our services to Him. That's why we have a script that was given, and this is what we are implementing, and this is what is being shown to our brothers and sisters right now in hopes to inspire them in their faith. And from what I know, from what I've heard from the production crew, it's about a brother joining the ministry. So I believe that that would be interesting to the young brothers who are here. Hopefully to get them to be more inspired to think about joining the Holy Ministry.
Right. So, did you grow up here in Vancouver?
Yes, in fact, I grew up here in Burnaby, and when I turned 18 years old, that's when I decided to join the Holy Ministry, and I was studying for 5 years, and praises be to God that I was able to graduate in 2017, and now I'm assigned back home here to be of help to the church administration to the best of my capabilities in edifying the faith of the brethren, to share the true faith, the words of God. I hope that the church continues to grow in this part of the world.
So, since you said that you were born here and grew up here, how did you see the church grow from the beginning, or from when you were younger until this present day?
From when we arrived here, I believe there was only 2 congregations here in BC, or 3 rather. We had BC. In BC, we had Burnaby, which was Vancouver then, and then there was Surrey, and then there was Victoria, which was originally called Parksfield Extension. But then, on leaving for the ministry, there was a few more congregations added. But when I came back, there was so much more already. And with that being said, ever since 2009 until now, God's power has been revealed all the more to the church. And the reason behind this is because the members of the church are very dedicated in obeying the commandments of God. We are united in obeying the commandments of our Lord God, which is the reason that He continues to uphold His promises that He made to the church. And that's why we can see that the church continues to reap victories upon victories. And this is all due to the mighty hands of our Almighty God.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Brother Arvi.
Thank you very much.
Back to you in the main studio.
Thank you, Arnie from Vancouver. Again, we want to say a big thank you, Ka Edwell, for joining us today and providing your updates and your insight.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Thank you so much, Randy.
Thank you.
And please, let me say a few words to all our brethren around the world. Happy 104th anniversary, and to those in the West, happy 50th anniversary.
All right, thank you very much. We'll go ahead and toss it off now with Randy and I going to Blasdell with Lynn Pence and Ron Hamilton, Malu Francisco, and Tenny Sumauki.
Thank you for joining us here in Clydesdale at Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm Lynn Pence.
And I'm Ron Hamilton.
And I'm Malu Francisco Makayo.
Yay!
And we are one with 25.
Leave the break, bud. Hi, guys. All right, thank you very much. From where all the action is happening right now in Hawaii.
I'm jealous that we don't get to see what's going on. I hope we get to see the program that's being done on all of those sites.
But they can't help us out because the internet is everywhere, especially within the palm of your hand. So please join us and contribute to the community and our audience by following and adding to our content for the hashtag INC50West, and of course, hashtag INC104.
Yeah, so stay tuned to the EBC special coverage. We'll be back after this little break.
Happy
Mula po sa distrito ng Bukidnon, sa pangunguna po ng mga ministro at mga manggagawa, kasama ng aming may bahay at mga anak, ay bumabati sa mga kapatid sa buong mundo, lalong-lalo na po sa ating pinakamamahal na kapatid, ang kapatid na Eduardo B. Manalo ng isang Happy 104th Anniversary po!
Happy 104th anniversary to all the brethren in the world, and happy 50th anniversary, Church of Christ in the West. Purihin ang Diyos! Mabuhay ang Iglesia ni Cristo!
Pati sa ating po mga kapatid sa Iglesia ni Cristo at sa mahal natin kay Eduardo sa 50th anniversary ng INC dito po sa West. Nakilala po namin ang mga kapatid dito worldwide ang inyong kontribusyon sa mga komunidad, sa disiplina ng Pilipino at sa pagmamahal sa bayan ay kahangalan. Congratulations, God bless you.
Happy 104th anniversary to all the brethren in the world, and happy 50th anniversary, Church of Christ in the West.
Happy 104th anniversary sa lahat ng kapatid sa buong mundo at
Happy 50th anniversary to the Church of Christ in the West.
We would like to greet our most beloved brother, Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo B. Manalo, and all the brethren all over the world.
Happy 104th anniversary!
Akong si Mayor Salem Francisco ng San Fernando Romblon ay buong pusong buwabati sa lahat ng kaanim sa Iglesia ni Cristo sa inyong 104th anniversary and 50 years in the West.
Kami po ay buong pusong bumabati sa lahat ng kapatid ng 104th anniversary at 50 years in the West.
Purihin natin ang ating Panginoong Diyos! Purihin ang ating Panginoong Diyos! Happy 104th anniversary po! Happy 100th anniversary, Church of Christ in the West! Mabuhay ang Iglesia ni Cristo! Happy 104th anniversary and 50th anniversary in the West!
Kami ng mga correspondents sa distrito ng Misamis Occidental ay bumabati sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa Iglesia ni Cristo sa buong mundo ng
Happy 104th anniversary!
Kapatid na Eduardo B. Manalo, tagapamahalang pangkalahatan ng Iglesia ni Cristo at sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa buong mundo, mula po dito sa INC Secretariat at mula po sa External Affairs Office ay nakikipagkaisa kami at bumabati sa pagdiriwang po ng Iglesia ng kanyang 104 na anibersaryo at ika-50 taon nito sa kanluran. Purihin ang Diyos! Happy Anniversary po!
We'd like to greet our dear brother Eduardo V. Manalo and all the brethren all over the world a Happy 50th Anniversary in the West!
Kami po ay bumabati sa lahat ng mga kapatid sa buong mundo ng Happy 104th Anniversary at Happy 50th in the West! Purihin ang ating Panginoon!
Happy 104th Anniversary of the Church of Christ and 50th Anniversary in the West. Happy 104th Anniversary and Happy 50th Anniversary in the West.
Welcome back to the special coverage of the anniversary of the Iglesia ni Cristo. Now, Kyle, with us, we have some special guests.
Yes, we have Professor Cho, and of course we have a brother Dan Leibag as well. For right now, let's go back to let's pick up where we started off, Professor.
Yes.
Earlier this morning, we had a special worship service.
Yes.
It was conducted in Tagalog,
Yeah.
even though it was located in the United States. Naturally, you might think, oh, let's do it in English, but as we've always seen and experienced, it's been in the mother tongue of the Philippines. If you could expound further on with regards to culture and the Iglesia ni Cristo.
I think the one of the main role and the contribution of the Iglesia ni Cristo to nation building, I would like to add, is that, you know, usually when you are an OFW or you migrate to the United States or other parts of the world, you become uprooted from your culture, from bayang sinilangan, from lupang tinubuan. But the good thing about what the Iglesia has been doing for the past 50 years now is that despite the fact that they are already in the United States, because they continue to perform the national language there, to speak it, to use it, and also because of, I think one of the pioneers of teleconferencing when it comes to big events would be the Iglesia ni Cristo. I watched that when I was young in the 1990s. And of course now with the use of the internet, now it's so easy to broadcast to hookups different parts of the world, so without too much, that is not expensive anymore. I think you now see that the Filipino nation is not just here in the Philippines, but you are able to expand the Filipino nation to the diaspora, to the people to our fellow brethren there. And then what you do is you connect them in such a way that it is as if they never left the Philippines. And I think that is a very important contribution of the Iglesia. Now, I would like to show you something that is quite interesting.
Yes.
This is the picture of Ka Felix Manalo in his office.
Okay.
And here I would like to remind everyone that really the Iglesia ni Cristo is actually roots itself to Filipino culture. You see, this is Ka Felix Manalo, and then you have the presidents. So history, President Quezon is President Quirino and Speaker Avellino. But here at the top of his office, there are some items. You see there what I believe is Andres Bonifacio. It's a bust of Andres Bonifacio, a bust of Maria Clara, and a bust of Jose Rizal. And then you have a sword of our ancestors. It's called the kampilan. A very big kampilan is also here. So that is where you see that, yes, probably the Church of Christ now, we're talking in English, there's internationalization going on. A lot of the publications now are in English, but it is also a reminder that the Iglesia ni Cristo would never and should never forget the Filipino-ness, the roots of in our culture of its faith. No? It's Jesus Christ based, it's Bible based, but it's also rooted in our culture.
Yes, so we can see the origins of the INC here in the Philippines, but it's still an important part of Filipino culture all throughout the world.
And 140 countries and territories already.
Yes.
143.
143. The number just got bigger.
You know, just a few years ago, it was only 120. So you see, in the past, just in the past 4 years, you see already an expansion going on in different countries and territories quite swiftly than ever before.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's correct. So now we're going international. Let's go ahead and go back home about the role of the church here at home in the Philippines, specifically with the things that we've been doing community-wise with our Lingap. Brother Dan, I know you have the behind-the-scenes information
I do.
As part of the medical services. If you could just show us what it's actually like down there.
We have perfected, we have mastered the art of preparing for the Lingap. We have this team of dedicated brothers and sisters who do belong to the Felix Y. Manalo Foundation, the New Era General Hospital, and the Social Services Office, which are the major arms of the Iglesia de Cristo insofar as our civic concerns. So they have their roles, logistics, abilities, their skills from doing the ocular surveys where our Lingap would be held, and on the actual Lingap or aid itself, then everybody does his work.
Yes.
And all we have to do is observe them like they work as if they are just one person. They're coordinated. They know what they're supposed to do. They could pull off even the biggest Lingap. So everything is done in a coordinated and collaborative manner.
So we're just getting started. We can get even bigger.
Yes, we do. In fact, we just like to add to what Brother Edwin said earlier. We have to wait until October because there will be another big Lingap coming in commemoration, in celebration of the birthday of our executive minister.
So we can even help more brothers and sisters, not just within the church, but of course specifically our lesser brothers and sisters who are not yet members of the church or are part of our community.
So what can we expect for that big outreach program in October?
It would be a worldwide Lingap, Brother Andy. So if we were able to help thousands, hundreds of thousands in the previous Lingap Samamayan that we had, then expectedly more people would benefit from this Lingap activities that we would be conducting before the year ends.
Wow, very exciting. Exciting to know that wherever you are in the world, because we know that poverty, it's a worldwide problem. It really is a global problem. But we can see that the INC is quick in providing aid in disaster-stricken countries. I think most recently we had in Bataan. I remember they declared a state of emergency, and right away we see the INC, they're giving out relief goods.
We do. And all the districts, not only from the central office, all the districts are already trained to conduct immediate relief. Should if there are like calamities in their places, then there are local brethren who could actually perform and immediately go to the aid of people who have been calamity-stricken.
So that's why the mobilization was so fast.
It's
really,
so quick.
The next day, right after the declaration of state of emergency, the next day, the INC was setting up. Okay, so there's already systems in place. Whatever happens, whatever situation, the INC is ready to provide their goods and help.
Especially with the use of technology, as we've seen with us collaborating with different parts of the world. I'd like to throw it back to Professor. I know we were one of the first ones to actually log on to the internet in the early 90s, late 90s, I forget. But if you could give us maybe your perspective or bird's eye view into the future. We've been talking a lot about Philippine history. How do you see the future?
Well, of course, I believe that in the next few years, because as you can see, you have history as a lens to also look at how the future would be. This is what Jose Rizal said. To foretell the destiny of the nation, it is necessary to open the book that tells of its past. So, Jose Rizal also reminded us that if we want to develop, if we want to become, shall we say, if we want to progress, we have to look back at the past and remind ourselves of our values. Remember that our nation is suffering now in such a in divisiveness, and I think I hope that the Iglesia ni Cristo will continue to solidify themselves into our culture, our concepts, so that we can continue. Iglesia ni Cristo could become a beacon of that nationhood, of our being Filipino. But also, I would like to emphasize that I like the new publication of the Iglesia ni Cristo. That was I'm probably one of the first people to have this book.
And
it was released today.
And have it signed.
And have it signed by Ka Edel. It's called Striving for a Better Tomorrow. I think this is the goal that we have. Not just as Iglesia ni Cristo, but as Filipinos, that we should together strive for a better tomorrow by helping each other in the kapatiran. And what I really would like to add more is, when I watched Ka Eduardo in one of the church services, a pastoral visit here in Mindanao Avenue a few months ago, I suddenly realized what his role and the church's role, not just in the lives of the nation, but to Filipinos, the individual Filipino who believes in this church. Times are not, they're not bad, but it's also not perfect. There are times when people struggle and they have hardships in life. You know, the prayers that were given by Ka Eduardo, the preaching, gives hope, gives a semblance of, you know, we always talk about the end times because, you know, the church was built to prepare people for salvation. But it also gives hope in the everyday lives of the people, that, you know, even if it seems that it is so hopeless, it's always hardship, no ginhawa, no, the Lord is there. The kapatiran is there to be with you, to share with your suffering, and to help us all. So I guess that this is not just for the whole nation, the future. I hope that it continues to be a beacon of hope, so that Filipinos would strive to do better in life, to continue to the struggles of life, and eventually win over all these hardships, and, you know, build more God-fearing families and more, shall we say, rooted Filipinos.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor Shao. There you have it. A wide perspective on the past, the present, and the future. Today, celebrating our 104th anniversary and our 50 years as a foreign mission as well.
Yes, all over the world you can see the members of the Iglesia ni Cristo uniting and celebrating this historic event. Wherever they are serving the Lord, and they're joining in this united activity.
So from here, back at home at our headquarters in QC, thank you, Professor Shao.
Thank you very much.
Brother Dan, thank you very much. To Brother Edwill as well. And of course, to all of our international correspondents.
Yes. For all of our viewers, thank you for tuning in to our EBC special coverage. Make sure to continue posting on social media so that we can see all of the celebrations being done worldwide.
So from here at EBC and QC, and from all of our international correspondents, whether that was in Washington, D.C., Toronto, Canada, Florida, Texas, Nevada, and of course, Hawaii. Thank you very much. Please continue to contribute and be part of our community. Follow the hashtag and contribute. Hashtag INC50West, and of course, hashtag INC104. Again, a big thank you to all of our guests today. My name is Brother Kyle.
And I am Brother Randy Bernardino, and we are one with 25.